Good morning, my name is Mary O'Neill. I'm here today with Stuart Archibald of Archibald Williams Advertising. How are you, Stuart?
Very well, Mary.
Good. Why don't you tell us a little bit about the company and what you do?
Archibald Williams is a creative agency. In the Australian market, it would be a medium-sized shop. Our positioning is all about strategy and creative content. Our clients include News Corp, Caltex, Citibank, Nando's, Syngenta, which is one of the largest of the agricultural companies. On the CSR side, we work with White Ribbon, which is domestic violence. So we have a broad range of client base that cover everything from strategy through to creative and on to design and execution, whether that be in TV, interactive media, outdoor, cinema, etc. So we pretty well cover the whole gamut of creativity.
The CEO of Leo Burnett, Mark Tutzel, is seen as one of the most decorated people in the creative industry. He talks of the 21st century becoming the screen age. Do you agree with that?
Absolutely,
Yeah.
Mary. There's not a day goes past that I don't judge, so with my phone, every piece of creative work on a mobile device. If you get on a train here in Sydney or a bus, majority of those passengers are looking at their screens every day, looking at the news, looking at ads, talking to their friends in social media. So every time we think of an idea or we think of an advertisement, it has to first be able to be seen on this device. Now, that is quite major compared to when I started in the business 30 years ago. It was still screen then, it was TV, but that was the major. But today, it will be TV, it will be the desktop, it will be the mobile device. So he's absolutely correct. It's been a big change, and I think for an advertising agency to be looking at ads firstly on the mobile device, and that's really what they should be doing, that's a big development within the industry. But a fabulous opportunity for creativity, because we have to think even harder in terms of a small device compared to a 30-second TV commercial. They're very different mediums to look at. So it's not just about a broad screen, it's about the type of screen that you're looking at. But as I say, it's a fabulous opportunity.
So what would you say is the extent of the interactive media revolution?
I think we're just at the beginning. I think if you look throughout history in the 30 years I've been involved in the business, there is a constant revolution in media going on, and it's not about to stop today. And where we go tomorrow is anybody's guess. But if you look back over history, and it's a good learning, you see the opportunities going forward. The fact of life is it comes down to the fundamentals of consumers, why I choose a brand, why I choose to interact with you, the type of media I consume. If you look at when I started in the business, TV was the predominant medium. However, when TV came about, which was a revolution, everyone talked about the demise of print and radio, and yet print and radio today are very important. Interactive media today, people are talking about the demise of print. And my prediction is that print, in some means or other, will be around. There's actually a lot of core niche titles coming out at the moment. We're all online at the moment, but when was the last time you saw a nice bit of print? So there are constant opportunities here. Today we're talking interactive media. A couple of years ago it was mainly the desktop. Talking today about the majority of the work I look at day to day is on the mobile device. Consumers obviously social in terms of the media, the targeting opportunities. What's fabulous today with interactive media is when I was a kid, we're talking a long time ago, I couldn't dream of the type of consumer interaction that we have today. I couldn't talk to you one-on-one, I couldn't go back to you and see what you were thinking. The social media and people posting pictures, etc., and the interaction with brands have come with its challenges, but I couldn't have dreamt of those one-to-one communications that we would always talk about. So this revolution is ever more exciting for people like me in the business because I have an opportunity to touch one-to-one with consumers. As I say, where that goes, I think there's always a revolution happening. Our job and the opportunities in this business is where is it going next? But fundamentally coming back to how's the consumer behaving with this media? I think sometimes we tend to look at new technology and say, we think they should have this, consumers. When in fact, what does the consumer want? You think about how you consume with media, it's probably very different than the way I consume. And so it's just understanding that dynamic.
So here at Wentworth Institute, we offer bachelor degrees in professional accounting, business and interactive media. Do you see any correlation between those and the outside world?
Very much so. If I look at my business, my client's business, all of those roles are crucial for the running of those businesses. More than ever, I need creatives that can think business. I employ account handlers that need to think business. I have a financial director, crucial in terms of that is accountancy. But what's also interesting is how those roles are merging together. So a business person doesn't necessarily mean that they can't think creatively. If I look back over the years, some of the best creatives I've seen have been business people. One of the best strategic planners I've ever employed was an accountant. So those fundamentals that they're learning in your courses are crucial to them when they come into my business or my client's business. Their skill sets that they're learning mean that they can be cross-pollinated with other skill sets within my business because they're not linear. So as I say, there is a broad opportunity. What is fundamental as the skills that you're developing with students are crucial that I need people to understand business, how to make money for my business, but also my client's business, how to make money from consumers. They're very much all important because I can't have a creative sitting there thinking it's all about the creativity, it's all about the art. If I'm into art, I think you've got a book here of Darling. Then art school is probably the profession. And you know, I'm joking, but it's to prove a point that a creative needs to understand that they're selling soap, that they're working with Google to understand how that works from a business. That makes a difference in a creative person, not just about the art, but about the science of business. And that's where I see the opportunity for the people that you're nurturing and providing the talent to my business and my client's business.
So in any business, who should be involved in interactive media?
Every single person on the team. If you think about client's business or my business, we're dealing with consumers through websites, through all types of screen media as we've been talking about today. And therefore, every person from an account service person, through to a creative, through to my accountant, who's doing my daily numbers, we're dealing with our consumers, as I say, through all types of interactive media. So the whole team needs to understand the terminologies, how consumers are consuming it, the charging for that. So our business is orientated to an interactive media and an interactive media consumer. So one person can't handle all that.
So hold on, Stuart. So how do you go about developing that strategy with your team?
In terms of, from the start, a client will come to us and say, I would like to advertise X. I'd like to sell some mugs. I will bring together a team of strategists, and basically they're what we call planners in this business, or a strategist. They're the thinkers. They come together in terms of the business and the communication strategy. So they need to understand interactive media. By the way, what's the consumer's attitudes to that media? I will then bring together people like what I would call an account service, as I mentioned earlier on. An account service, but people just don't wear suits, we call them suits. And a suit is a person that represents the client in terms of the delivery of that interactive media. So we have people that devise a strategy, we have what we call a suit or account service person that makes sure we have the delivery of that work for the client. We have the creative team that then gets what the strategy is for the delivery of that work in interactive media. Could be a TV, could be screen, but it could be an interactive poster outside on the street here. It could be social media. Then I'll have a designer that will design and bring to life that work before it's transmitted in terms of whatever screen that we're talking about. And then last but not least, my accountant has to charge for all those work from the strategists through. They need to understand the dynamics, the charging of that strategy, the charging, and that's why an accountant is so critical to my business, because if I don't charge out my thinking and I don't charge out my creativity, then at the end of the day I go bust and I don't have a business. And my clients expect hours reporting, like a lawyer does. They expect due diligence when it comes to quoting. So my accountant is extremely, and everyone that has that business knowledge has to bring that business acumen to the business, because we all think about creativity as being just lovely pictures, and it is. It's the best business you can be involved in. It's a hell of a lot of fun. Otherwise I wouldn't be sitting here today, enjoying company and having this conversation. But there's a real serious business side to advertising and creativity that yourselves are nurturing, and that is giving me the opportunity in terms of growing my business and my clients' business.
So in terms of the roles in which you mentioned, how would somebody go about getting a job with a company like yours?
There's various routes available to them. Firstly, there's the route that you offer in terms of Bachelor of Interactive Media. I would look at people's skill sets that are coming out of your courses. That's got to be the first port of call. But it may not just be a full-time job that I may be looking for in terms of a candidate. We employ freelancers. The media and creative industry thrives on the freelance market. You yourself are in the freelance world. And that's what's the beauty about this, because you could end up being a small business in your own right that comes into my industry and offers your services. So in some instances I'll be looking at for a full-time person, because I'll need one of the roles that we've talked about today, whether that be account service from your business course, whether it be the financial on the accountancy and interactive media, and that could cover creative, could be an account service person, could be a designer, could be a coder, could be anybody. But then at the same time, your students may wish to get on the freelance market, and when I'm looking in terms of freelance designers and coders, and they might go to a production company, there's vast opportunities for them, depending on the route that they choose. But that's really the way that I would go about choosing, depending on what's the course for my business. Sometimes I may need a short project done. I'm more likely to look at a freelance. If it's a long term, if it's a relationship gig with a client, then that's a full-time role. So very much like, and again, we see through history, TV production is a world of freelancers. They're freelancers coming in, you just said, that's, when you think about it, life has not changed that much. The TV industry thrives on those freelancers coming in and out. And a client recently said to me, Stuart, isn't it one day that agencies could just become like production companies, where I just bring in freelance talent and then they go when the job's finished? Now that is quite attractive to me. I like things like that. When I was a smaller shop, we did that. They sort of reached. We were based in the TV production. However, as we've grown, probably become a lot more serious in terms of our business, and by means that we haven't changed in terms of the way we conduct ourselves. But if I'm working with a News Corp like we are, or a Caltex, these are big brands with big customer bases, with big serious businesses. So I'd come to your talent, and I've been looking for full-time talent in that respect, because they're looking for ongoing strategic relationships that builds their business, helps them navigate the world that we're in. And we go back to interactive media. All of these organisations, like all of us, are grappling where it's all going. And the smart ones, like all of us, are saying, what is the consumer insights? Where are they going? How are they consuming their media? And all these companies are dead smart at this. And so therefore there's a much more ongoing and steady relationship, because I need to learn from that, and then so we need to go over there, or we need to go over. So it depends on the job and and the type of client. But I think a good agency and a good business is open to working with two models.
And you can also have an ongoing relationship with a freelance.
Absolutely.
Yeah.
I recently was told by one of my guys that they've been freelancing with me for the last 10 years. And I've forgotten that fact. So that's a sign of a good relationship, and the fact that at the end of the day, you want to work with good talent. Clients want to work with me because of, I hope, talent and my team. I want to find the right student because of the talent, and I want them to come with us on that journey of my business. So it comes down to relationship and talent. A degree will give you the necessary, what I would say, the rational side, and then you're right, it's on the emotional side, the way you develop a brand. The rational understanding and learning is critical in your courses. The other side is emotional, do I want to work with you?
So what advice would you give to any young person looking to get ahead in their field?
Never stop learning. Never take no for an answer.
That's a good one.
And always work hard. Study, obviously, is critical, and education courses are critical for getting the basis of that and the business knowledge and that acumen. And then after that is going into this environment, deciding, going back to what we talked previously, do I want to be a freelancer? Do I want to be a designer? Do I want to be an accountant? You don't always have the answers on that. And I always say to people, don't worry about that.
Yeah.
Just try and work out what you're good at and what your skill set is good at. I was just talking to a client this morning, funny enough, saying, I went to art school. I was never going to be a great artist, so I went on to the business side. So I'm sitting here in a suit, but I probably have more creative leanings. And so in that beginning is deciding what you're strong at. I say, don't say take no for an answer, because you've just got to keep getting out there and trying to learn everything about this business, understand probably where you might want to lean to, and then keep going and keep learning. That's really, to me, the fundamental, because you never stop learning in this business. Today I'm learning more about mobile. I'll go back to our how to advertise on mobile. 30 years ago it was TV for Johnson & Johnson. So I'm not stopping in terms of my learning. So I would just say, understand also the opportunities you're getting on these courses, that you're learning business acumen. So my creatives coming into the business, as we said earlier, it's extremely important that they understand business, because they're selling products to my clients. And so they need to understand how a business works, and if I do this type of ad, or if I do this type, what is the effect in terms of the sales? And there's in creativity, there's a science and an art.
So I recently interviewed somebody and they gave me some great advice that I'll share with you. They said to me, there's 3 things that you need: persistence, patience, and alligator skin. Persistence, because you have to be persistent with people and with yourself, so you have to keep charging both ends. Patience, you have to be patient with other people because you're always waiting for somebody to get back to you, and also patient with yourself because you want things to happen right away and everything has its own timing. And alligator skin, because you're going to get a lot of rejection, so you need to thicken up a bit.
I think that's extremely good advice, and they're all traits that I've seen over the years with candidates. It's not easy being patient when you want a job. However, businesses are rolling on and doing things at their pace. So whilst I say it's not easy, it's good advice because it's then an understanding of what that business is going through. And then you have to then just chop and change, but keep in front of them whilst you're trying to be patient. It's just understanding those dynamics. I think it is very good advice.
Sometimes the no's end up leading to a better yes anyway.
I was thinking of my own career then.
Yeah.
And as I said earlier on, I went to art school. I knew that I wasn't going to go back to the Dali, I wasn't going to be a great painter. So I was preempting the no before I was told I was not going to be a great artist, and I was actually going to go to art direction. So art direction is the guys that enters the visualization. So I was a pretty good art director, but was I going to be able to run my own business one day based on my art direction? No. I'll leave that to the great creative people that you've been talking about today. I decided that I was going to be a creative suit. And so I was taking that rejection in my own mind before I went down that track. And that was my style. So I say to sometimes to people, realise yourself in terms of what you're good at. And that's why I smiled at that question, because I've gone through that anyway. Everybody does.
Yeah.
At the end of the day, you're a brand, I'm a brand, students are brands. Going back to the earlier question is what you need to do. As I say to my team all the time, is build your own brand. Build what's important to you, what you're good at, what you're not so good at, what you need to fix up. I think really that's been the theme of our conversations today, is to say the study is really important, but it's just the beginning of where you're going to go in the future, as you say. And that's it. You've talked to some really intelligent people in terms of this rush, but they're dynamics that's in human nature.
Yeah. So thank you so much for coming in, Stuart. It's been very insightful and an absolute pleasure.
Thank you, Mary. I really enjoyed it.